Hello? Oh my gosh, that is so infuriating. Why is Windows so terrible? Why is Windows so terrible? Oh my gosh. AstroConnect, I've been talking for 30 minutes on mute, which is so frustrating. So, my audio source in OBS was set to default. When I look at what my default audio source is in Windows audio input, it is set to the proper microphone. And nothing has changed since last I streamed. It's just that Windows loves to break audio sources. And you know, normally this would have already happened because I would have been on a call, but I guess because I'm streaming in the morning instead of in the evening, I haven't been on any calls today and haven't had to fix my audio source. Why is Windows so bad? Why are random applications allowed to just change my microphone? That is super frustrating. Especially, I don't know, like Windows, I don't even understand the Windows 10 version of this. Well, whatever. I've done it before. AstroConnect, I really appreciate you letting me know. Oh man, it's one of those things that has happened in the past and I've been super paranoid about it. And so, did they just get rid of the ability to quick change audio sources in Windows 11? Was that a fun choice that they made? Because they used to have the thing where it was like, you can say, choose where to play sound, and it's set to these headphones. And choose for speaking or recording, and it was set to this literal device. But OBS was set to the default device, which presumably would be this literal device. However, Windows 10, and I assume Windows 11, had like two notions of what the default device is. One is like, this is the default communications device, and this is the default whatever device. But I don't see that distinction in here, actually. Man, anyway, so it's so annoying because it's a thing that has happened in the past, and then I would be super vigilant about it, and I would always check and like make sure every single stream that I had levels, and then it would be okay for a dozen or so streams, and then I wouldn't think about it anymore. And then, of course, the one time I'm not paranoid about it, thank you. The one time I'm not paranoid about it, I false sense of security that Windows isn't absolute garbage, and of course, then I streamed for 30 minutes with no audio. But you know what? Whatever. I'm still gonna post it because who cares? Okay. Well. There probably weren't brilliant insights. It was probably mainly me just guessing and switching numbers. I mean, that's annoying. We did do the Wordle puzzle. So my beautiful Wordle commentary. So annoying. There's just no excuse for it. I don't, like, what is the excuse here? There's no excuse, for example, for every time Chrome accesses my webcam to completely change all my webcam settings that I've manually set. So I have made a stupid button that is the stop being stupid button that manually goes through and resets all my webcam settings. Maybe I need a don't be stupid button for my microphone. Oh, that's so frustrating. And I don't know, it's a thing where I'm like frustrated with myself for not quadruple checking, but when it works 10 times in a row, it's just easy to get a little complacent. I was even looking with like whatever it is. I forgot what the API is. It's like an ancient API at this point. Direct Show. It's like a 15-year-old API or something, but it still seems to be the most straightforward way to access webcams. If there was a way to like lock settings to say, hey, do not touch this. Do not allow anybody to touch this without permission. It is not allowed. You can access the camera. You can look at the camera feed. Do not touch the settings. I have not seen that thing. I wonder if there is some like Windows event that you could get, like if somebody messes with the setting. Who knows? Who knows? Oh my gosh, how embarrassing. Life is yours. First of all, hello, I've missed you. Second of all, I just streamed for 30 minutes with no microphone because Windows slash OBS slash somebody decided. This is the thing that's crazy though. Sometimes like Chrome or Teams or some video conferencing software will actually change the audio input. Like it will just change. It will just decide like, that's not your audio input anymore. We're going to use some pretend audio input that isn't real. Which, you know, sometimes when doing VR work, it will switch to this, although it's supposed to switch back. But it was set to this, and it had a big check mark next to this. So is that different than the default? Like, where do you set the default now in Windows 11? Streaming in the middle of the night. Wait, is it the middle of the night? I thought this would be a good time for you. Okay, do they still do the thing? So of course, you know, when you click anything in Windows 11, you just get, eventually you'll find something from Windows 7 or something. So this is the default device. Default device. Default device. And I even went in and like disabled some of these. Apparently I needed to disable more. But it can also be, I thought it was like where you could set it as the default device or slash the default communications device. Yeah, communications is separate. Maybe that's not the same in Windows 11. Or am I making that up? I thought there was a distinction where it could be like, this is the default communication device. This is the default whatever device. Anyway, by all accounts of the last few streams, well, sorry. By all accounts, this is default device right here. And in OBS, when I look at this microphone, this right here, even though no audio is happening, said default device. So I'm going to switch it to default and see if it kills audio. Hello, hello. No, now it's working. So this is what it was on before. Why would there be no audio? I don't know. I don't know. Even though I'm pretty sure manually in the past I have explicitly set it to this device. Oh, so frustrating. Oh my gosh. That's annoying. Oh well, good thing I didn't say anything important. Life is yours. The main thing that's important is we need your... Okay, great. This is what's important. First one, worm eating the leaf in the sun. Okay, yes. It's very good. Very, very good. I can see it. And this is a man about to play the piano. Also very good. Wordle's an okay game, but your commentary of Wordle is the best part of the game by far. So I'm glad you're here. It's cheered me up from this microphone fiasco. I mean, I guess on the plus side, it was only 30 minutes. I'm pretty sure I streamed for 2 hours before with no audio, but whatever. Oh my gosh, outrageous. Okay, so we got this thing. We can now randomize. I don't really understand these jiggity jaggities up here, especially with whole numbers. I think, I don't know, because I don't know these things, that it is related to, I think there's fundamental inaccuracies in arctan as numbers approach 0, but I thought they would have to be really close to 0. Like these are very substantial, right? Like that looks like, so this is what? 3, 4, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3. 34, 21. 34, 21. Astro Connect, thank you again for letting me know. 34, 21, 23, 43, 23, 43. Yeah, this is definitely the model, but we don't have any of that noise there. Oh, sorry, definitely the same object. So what is my problem there? I am using... Should I not be using arc cosine there? There's another way to get phi and theta. Okay, let's just steal some other formula. Phi, theta, Cartesian to polar. Let's just steal somebody's somebody something on a real search engine. Yeah, ask some, sure. Ask some heat questions. It is hopefully functional again. And we got the ball pit going too. Let's see. Let's turn on the ball pit. I forgot what it was called. Is this it? No. What's it called? Ball? I don't remember what it's called. Kyle, how's it going? It's going to go 2 places, and as soon as I remember what I'm doing, I will tell you all about it. What is the... How did I lose the ball pit? It's called bomb. For no reason. Because I think I was going to make some bombs. Okay, do we have... There we go. We have ball pits. Okay, so spherical glow. It started as from some studies at the Children's Museum in 2020 when I was doing that tech residency. That residency got kind of cut short by the pandemic, but now I have 2 ideas for this. One, I've just been showing it like I showed it at that SETI show, just as like a, you know, evolving projection in the background. But I am, one, going to make kind of a dynamic picture frame kind of thing with this Kindle Fire that this will just play and evolve all the time, and maybe you can tap it and see the clock or something. But also those it will be the plan is to make a version for the Children's Museum using a looking glass display, which is what are you? Why? I can't spell, but still, DuckDuckGo is terrible. I mean, these are much fancier than they were. I mean, I have like a much earlier version of this. It's not this fancy. I don't know how much these new ones cost. Like the one I have is definitely more prototypey. They're much thicker. I guess maybe they figured out some ways to not make it so thick. Mine was more expensive too. I mean, the one I have is definitely more prototypey. It's cool. Anyway, yeah, so the idea would have like a little interactive thing, maybe with Elite Motion, something like that. Okay. I can interact with the pointers through OBS, but viewers couldn't interact even with granting permission. I'm pretty sure I'm missing something in the code. When did you last test? Because the I can't remember what Monday Twitch approved the new version. So I think you were beta before, and it turns out that even if you are hosted the beta version, the individual viewers, which I didn't realize, have to be beta testers. So they may have just not been able to do it. So it's on Wednesday? That should work. What were you using? Were you using the markers? What, is this the example you were using? Little fingers? Wait, are these little fingers? I don't know if you can see. There's a lot of balls on the screen. Let me just gotta clear some balls away. Oh my gosh. Oh, the balls are emitting 2 by 2. We're getting so many balls. Fingers pointing. Wait, I'm sorry. Did you make something with it? I haven't made anything with fingers. I'm a little confused. Are you working on your own? It's a lot of balls. Who's doing that? Is that Kyle? Oh, I see. Okay. So, I mean, I don't know without knowing anything about their code, but if you look at this example for the clicks, couple of things to look for. Maybe they made it with an older version or something, but you should always see in the console, if you just view the console of whatever URL you're using, you should see a connection to heat with this version, so you know you're connected to the latest version. And so I'm clicking, and it looks like it's all good. Another thing you can test, of course, this is with my channel, so like you would have to have your channel ID. So that's another thing, is maybe the channel ID is not correct. Can you send me the URL that you were using? Maybe I could take a glance at it and see. There's also this one, hello world, I think, that will actually like log the data as it comes in. So it shows that I'm connected, and then it will show all the raw data coming from the viewers. So this can be helpful to just make sure that data is coming in from your channel. Okay, so what are we doing here? What are we gonna do to get, okay, I like the ball pit. I think it's funny, but we probably need to come up with a way to have it clear out occasionally. I'm gonna switch back to kisses. That was the wrong URL. A nice 404 on the screen. Kissing booth? Is it? Okay, back to kisses. Okay, so yeah, that noise up there, which I guess is along, that's along phi. Well, we kind of cheated. Like this? I don't know, man. Let's see. So that would be along theta, I guess. Oh, is that you? Life is yours? Sorry. Wait, Cartesian. Wait, did I see Dan Schiffman? Okay, Schiffman's going to tell us what to do. Wait, that's not Schiffman. Out of the corner of my eye, I thought it was a Schiffman video.
Sorry.
Wait, what's going on here? What are you doing, YouTube? Oh, I'm not logged in. That's funny. Just out of the corner of my eye, just seeing a person in front of the whiteboard, it like went into some kind of some part of my brain was like, anyone in front of a whiteboard talking about math. Stan Schiffman. What about Khan Academy? Is this gonna be good? So that's easy enough. Oh, this is, okay, this is from Nature of Code. We want spherical coordinates. Which is just, you know, polar coordinates on two axes. Why even try? Why? And why do I keep asking myself? Let's see. All right, let's look at Discord. Okay, these are from an older version of Heat because we don't use Socket.io anymore. I think that the legacy is still working, but these are from an older version, and it does look like somebody's added a little bit of fun stuff in there. But just at a glance, just at a glance, this is the correct URL now. Heat API is correct. This URL is not quite right because it has a combination of WebSocket, WSS, and HTTPS. It should just be WSS. But the main issue here is that Socket.io is no longer supported in the new API. But this Heat.js is here. So you can just use this is the latest version. Unless somebody else wrote this. I'm not sure who wrote this. Maybe I don't think I wrote this. Maybe I did. Actually, it looks like I probably wrote this and then somebody maybe based something on this. So, yeah, probably this looks like it was maybe based on an earlier version of Heat. So yeah, and I'm assuming this is your channel ID. So you can basically take this. I'll throw this in the chat. This is the newest version of the little Heat library that's just hosted at heat.j38.net. So yeah, so you can see this is looking to this URL with this channel. So the structure of this has changed a little bit, and I don't use Socket.io anymore. However, these events should be the same. So I'm assuming like this, add event listener and calling handle click, that should actually still be correct. So I think the rest of the code is okay if you replace this file. So hopefully that's all it needs. I don't know what these are. I guess those are Font Awesome icons from Font Awesome, I'm gonna guess. I mean, let me just grab these real quick. I'll grab these super fast and we'll see. Of course, that's what you want to do. You want to do nose pointing. So, okay, so let's go in here and let's go in. Oh, what is the shortcut in Windows? Is it not Windows E? There it is. Downloads, marker, Heat. Open with code. Let's pull this for a second. Okay, so I just have your Heat and your marker. So let's serve this. I'm just gonna rename the search CD server. Let's rename this to index. So then we should be able to go localhost 80. That's weird. Wait, what? Where am I? I'm in this folder. Okay, there we go. Nope. So in the console, yeah, we're gonna have some goofy issues here, but that's okay. But I don't know what that API. Oops. Let's see what we got. I don't know what this thing is. This BMCV, I don't know what that is. I'm gonna delete it. I don't know what it is. jQuery, oh no. Life is yours, I'm not gonna stand for that. Heat, j38. Nope. Yeah, j38.net.js/heat. Well, that should be a little better. So heat is not defined, isn't it? Oh, I need this. I don't know what this thing is. Inside marker. Why would heat not be defined inside marker? Oops. That's weird, because heat... That's not the right URL? Heat should be... window.heat. Oh, it's capital H heat. It would appear. Oh wait, don't we need to do like let heat equals new heat? Is that how we do this? Okay, and then we have an invalid channel ID. So I think in the constructor, we're supposed to pass the channel ID. So your channel ID, I am assuming... Oops. Let's just use my channel ID for now, because I don't know. What's my channel ID? I think I would know that, but I don't. I thought I actually printed that. There it is, channel. So I think this is how you do it. It's been a while. Okay, so now I should be connected. So basically I'm making a new heat object based on that newer heat library. And if I'm clicking here, you're seeing these. So I get animate marker, etc., etc. So I get this cute little... Oh yeah, the lerp is nice. That's nice. Look at that. Very cute. So how does it decide? So really all I changed in the marker code, basically, yeah, you saw what I did. I just changed this URL to go to the public version here, like the official version of heat. Should probably be on a CDN someday. And then I just created heat here. This is my channel ID, but you'd substitute your channel ID in here. And then I didn't change any other code. So how does it pick the, does it just randomly pick one when it creates somebody? Yeah, okay. Got it. Okay. So does this seem like what you're aiming for? That's cool. I like the alert. Okay, cool. Is that all clear? Do you want me to paste any of this, or is that really? I mean, it's basically just this and using this URL for heat. Sure. Well, I don't know what your channel ID is. I assume this is you. Although there's a lot of commented out channel IDs here, but I assume this is you. Okay, cool. Oops. Okay, I'll just throw those two files back in chat. So just this was your heat.html. I just changed it to index, and yeah, so just these two files should be. And I'd be aware, I did just randomly delete some things to make it work for me, but that doesn't mean it was the right thing to do. So maybe be conscious of whatever things I randomly deleted. Okay. Okay, cool. Okay, so yeah, I like that. It's nice. I caught part of your stream the other day. It looked super cool. So is the idea here that users can like flag things when you're looking at a an image of stars and ask questions about it, or what are your plans for using heat with that? Awesome. That sounds like a great use for it. Speaking of, okay, there's one thing that does need to be updated. So I'm pretty sure the function in heat that identifies this, I believe this is about to be deprecated by Twitch. I think Twitch is going to kill this. Yeah, because this is crack and this is v5, so this is going to be killed soon. So before then, I guess I'll just add an API endpoint to heat to do the same thing, which is dumb. By anomalies, you mean aliens, right? There's definitely aliens in the pictures. Actual evidence of real aliens, obviously. I mean, what other explanation could there possibly be other than aliens? I mean, it's the only scientifically sound explanation. Couldn't it be like, oops, like dirt on the lens or something? It's definitely aliens. I'm in the wrong place for sure. I'm supposed to be here. Nope. Okay, we were trying to cheat at math again rather than actually learning how anything works, which is just part of what we do here. So I think it's something about, I mean, it's obviously an issue here. I just couldn't tell you the exact thing that's happening. Were we able to get it with all fives? No, shoot. I should have like seeded this. Well, I guess it's not that hard to get. So let's just try again and just see if we can find some very obvious. Just want to see, because it's going to be a little more. Oh, really? That's cool. International Space Station photobomb. I just want to see if there is, because it's not, it's unfortunately, at a high level at least, not just a matter of understanding the math and getting the formula right. There seem to be some issues and edge cases and whatever with the specific implementation in OpenGL of arctan that are weird or undefined, I guess. And so I tried to cheat with that here. I think if I don't have this, it'll be even worse, which, you know, I don't really want this. I don't want any conditionals in here. And it looks like even in Unity I was having those problems, and that's why I was bumping them up. And there's probably some, if I really sat down and really thought about it, there's probably some solution. But even with this, I think there's going to be weirdo issues. Like if I just go 1 to the 0th, 1 to the 0th, 1 to the 0th, 1 to the 0th. Yeah, we get these weird belts. And I think the arc cosine is okay. I think the arc tan is what's breaking down. I might be wrong about that. But I think it's when either x or y are 0, you get a nan. You get a not a number. So yeah, that's probably why I had this randomized offset by 1, so the exponent would never be 0, even though that seems valid to me. Anyway, so I was just hoping to find somebody having done the work to figure out a really good... that's interesting. Just a really good, reliable Cartesian to spherical in OpenGL. Like this is almost the same thing. It's just using atan2 twice. I think this is what we were using previously, actually. I think Axio dug this up. I switched to the arc cosine because I was hoping that would give me less errors for phi. And there's no atan2 in OpenGL, but there's a 2-parameter version of atan, which I believe is essentially the same. So are you happier? No. Are you less happy? Yeah, so now I have it on both poles. Or along, you know, longitudinal belt and latitudinal belt, and actually like at the perpendicular, I guess. So this belt was corrected by using the arc cosine, which is nice, I think. And it just looks a little nicer. A little less math. Wait, why is this working now? Oh, sorry, we wanted 1 0 1 0 1 0 1 0, which is unhappy. But actually 0 1 0 1 0 1 is fine. Is it though? How does that work? 1 to the 0th would be 1. That's why. Okay, so that's fine, I guess, if we want to lerp back. But it doesn't solve our messy chunky boys. What was our strategy in Unity? I mean, I think it was the verbose one. No, in Unity, I was able to use UVs, which I'm not able to do here. I don't understand why. It's like the UVs. So this is with an icosahedron. And in my brain, we should be able to do the exact same thing like this, but use a plane instead. This would actually be my preference, but something's not right. 1 by 1 by resolution divided by 2. Something is not right when I do this. And I don't know what it is. Like whether the UVs are busted. Like I don't actually know. Oh, well, that's the shader's broken. A float and an int. Oh, well, that's just dumb. So, you know, like something's not right here, which doesn't really make sense to me. Oh, you know what? I think I just realized something silly. I think that's not the name of the... I think it's just UV. I think that varying is to send the UV to the frag shader. It is. Good grief. Okay. Maybe I was doing this wrong the entire time. Just realized this. Okay. Well, that was a very cool mistake. This resolution does not seem good. Seems like we have other problems here, perhaps. He's inverted. Oops. Okay. Your tests are happy? Do you have a stream up? Are you streaming? Is that what you mean? Everything looks good test-wise? I can go click on it if you want. Okay, we seem to have some issues here, but I feel like we're kind of on the right track. I may have gotten the resolutions backwards. 2 pi would be phi. Would be on the x-axis, we want more resolution than on the y-axis. 128, it should be a lot. Guess we did 256 in Unity. Okay, something's broken. What is it? Can I interact offline? You can with the Twitch developer rig. That's weird. Send me out of the Twitch developer rig. Seems like it's not getting the latest version. Flash manifest, extension views, create new view. So what is your channel ID? If you happen to know. Hey, you know, technology's not very good. Display channel. Oh. I wonder if this works. That's me. I wonder if display channel, if I actually can do this. I don't know. Seems like a no, actually. Sorry, what's your actual I think it wants your channel name. Let's just be your name. Oops. Astro and up. Does that work? It's funny that it shows my... I'm getting unable to verify token. Let me think about this for 1 second. It could be a dumb... I mean, it's guaranteed to be something dumb. That's the latest version. We go here. Refresh all views. Okay, I'll use you. I tried this before with the rendered senseless fellows. I mean, it may be because I'm not you, so this may actually not be a good test. You might have to actually run a test stream for it, because I don't know that it will let me pretend to be you. I kind of thought it could, but yeah, it's a bummer. I mean, very many people just have like a dummy channel that they use for testing because Twitch doesn't make this stuff. Doesn't make it super easy. I am confused though. Use a custom user. I mean, it really just may be that I'm not authorized for that. Scott made this, because this should work. Should work. Should work. Should work. Doesn't work. Okay, great. Doesn't work. Okay, great. Wait, no, it's the wrong channel ID. Oh my gosh, and I can't meet this? No, it's the wrong channel ID. Oh my gosh, and I can't meet this? No, it's the wrong... No. Okay, wait. Use current user. Do this. Use now I click. User. Do this. Use now I click. User. Do this. Okay, the developer rig is not working. But Heat is definitely working, so who knows? Who knows? Sorry. Why would I think the developer would... I think with an extension that is in hosted mode, maybe the developer rig can't do its business. I don't know. I guess I've never used it for a... Extensions have like a lifetime that they go through where it's like local, hosted test, and then like pushed into production. And I guess I've never used it for an extension that is like live. So it may be that I can't even use it from there. Just have me forever. Okay, so this is wrong, but it feels more emotionally it feels more right. So, I mean, it looks kind of cool. But what have we done? So theta is we want theta to be the one that sweeps all the way around, right? That's what I want. We want phi to be here, and we want theta to go all the way around. And we want phi just to do this. Can't believe I had those UVs wrong. I mean, I can definitely believe I had them wrong, but I'm going to pretend like I can't believe it. At a glance, this looks better. Oh, that's really kind of you, AstroConnect. You know, I would be interested in talking about that with some people that use Heat. I do have a Patreon. I think I have like one person. Maybe I should lean in that direction. Okay, yeah, I'd be interested in knowing your opinion on it because there's a few different thoughts. One way is like through Heat itself, you know, like monetizing Heat itself, where, and that's a tricky one, and it would really depend on the broadcaster. That one's a little tricky, but could be okay. There could be ways that broadcasters could pay a little fee or something like that. There could be that, but yeah, maybe the shortest answer would be Patreon. It feels a little weird because literally, I think I set up that Patreon like 4 years ago and have like one person. But I don't know. What are your thoughts on it? Like, do you know, are there any other projects like this that you just support or see how they do it? Like, because I would like it. I have lots of ideas for Heat, but it is, yeah, you know, it does take a fair amount of time, and it would be nice to have a way to at least pay the server costs and a little bit of my time. Or what's that other one? Buy me a coffee or any of those? I don't know. I'm bad at those. I'm bad at being a wealthy Twitch streamer. Okay, I think this is better. I think it solves some of our problems. It looks like there are still some goofball problems, but I think those goofball problems are float issues, because I think as described, this formula wants to be all integers. I think it's okay if we like are lerping between these. Maybe we don't lerp. There's probably at least one access we don't want to lerp. So it looks like it gets a little wonky at 0 though. Here, that could just be the whole. How do I describe this? That could be the hole that is created by the plane if the UVs are truly not 0 to 1. And you could maybe imagine that being the case of them not being fully 0 to 1. Like you could imagine that Three.js makes its UVs such that, you know, it's 0, 0 in the corner, but it never hits 1. It approaches 1, but it's like 0.999999999. And that might be why we don't get so maybe we can just find the, because we could certainly build our own plane geometry. Yeah, well, I really appreciate that. So I guess, I mean, honestly, I would say the easy answer is just a sub would be great. The only thing that's annoying there, of course, is that Twitch takes a tremendous cut, right? Like, what is the cut? Do they take, is it like 50-50? I feel like it's not good. Twitch takes a 50% cut, which people are mad at Apple for a 70-30 split, and Twitch is over here taking 50. Duraj, where have you been? Welcome back. I've missed you. we're trying to make me rich. This just, how come no one's complaining about this? There's all the animosity between Epic and Apple, and it's an argument over, what is it? 80-20 versus 70-30? Maybe it's better than that. Maybe it's 88-12 at Epic. I can't exactly remember. Apple did change the split for small businesses, I think, to be 85-15, but like 50-50, jeez. Have you been you've been going to the gym? Are you getting swole? How are your exams going? I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. So yeah, I mean, honestly, I guess this, and it's not even out of greed that I would say, you know, don't sub. It's just out of like, man, what a terrible, I don't know. That's a weird one. So, I mean, of course I would be totally grateful for a subscription, but man, it's just, there's something like principle wise that is a real, what's the Patreon split? Or whatever they say. What's their cut? I mean, that seems pretty minimal. If that's really true, is it really only 5%? Interesting. Interesting. Well, that's great. It's great that you're taking care of yourself. That's awesome. And that's good. I know that's hard to do while you're, you know, while you're studying, going to school, all that. Still making yourself get up and go to the gym. That's great. I don't know. So I'm pretty sure I still have a Patreon. I probably have a link to it on my website. Maybe I stopped putting it there just because I was embarrassed that. I mean, I don't even use most of this stuff. Somebody needs to update their website. That someone is me. Do I put anything down here? Guess not. Man, I don't even use this stuff. You're so terrible, DuckDuckGo. I don't know. Scott Garner. You think I would know this? There's Daisy Gardiner. Scotty made this. Okay. I don't... yeah, and it's just an eternal thing. It's just an eternal battle. Should I do it? I mean, do people even like Patreon anymore? I thought everybody got mad at them. I still support a few a handful of Patreons, I guess. I mean, it was like a year ago. I thought everybody got mad at Patreon, but I don't know. People are always mad at everything, so sometimes it's hard to keep track. Nextlander uses Patreon. The Best Show uses Patreon. Imaginary Advice, Ross G. Sutherland's podcast, which he's back, which is great. Uses Patreon. So there are still definitely people I support. Excuse me? Okay. It says I have a creator account. It's patreon.com/Scott made this. So how is their search so bad? How is their search so bad that when I literally typed Scott made this into their search, That's sad. You know what? I wonder if maybe I delisted it. Maybe, is that a thing I've done? Okay, AstroConnect, I'm gonna, yeah, right. Terrible discoverability. It's maybe I delisted it because it was embarrassing. I don't know. Okay, AstroConnect, I'm gonna think about this hard and I will post some info on the Discord. I appreciate you bringing it up. Man, the subsplit is just so insulting, I feel like. Okay, so I think this looks pretty good. I still feel like it doesn't look as good as Unity, maybe just, but you know, we can do some tuning to the colors. I want some glow around the edges without blowing out the middle. And so I guess we just need to add some more sliders to try to figure out some colors. I feel like Twitch discovery has gotten only worse since I started streaming. I mean, I'm not good at self-promotion, granted, but feels bad. We probably could, I don't know. Do we do it? We could do the thing where we actually calculate proper normals. It wouldn't be too heavy. It's basically, to calculate proper normals, we would just need like a little delta. Like this. So the way this is working now, which is I like it like this, is we're just sending the GPU a plane. Just a grid of geometry, basically. And then we're doing all of our math to distort that. I'm pretty into that. It looks like I can't quite tell. I'm trying to see if I can recreate that little hole on the top again. Because what I think is happening, yeah, I think there just may be a case where there is a little, well, look, that's not a good split. There may be no avoiding that, though, if we're not... I think, in particular, if the exponents... I think it's okay for that, whatever, that coefficient, like the even-numbered m's, basically, for those to be floaty. But I think... that's not true. I was wrong. I had thought that these could be... Maybe I have it backwards. Maybe the coefficients need to be, or maybe things are just breaking down because this number is small. Like less than 1. That could be. I could see there being issues below 1. Which is pretty strange though, because I really thought that was a... So maybe I have it backwards. Maybe it's actually okay for the exponents to be floating point. No, there's a little... Okay, but what I think this might be an issue with the construction of the... So I will say, when I started streaming, I guess it was around my birthday, 2018. So that's getting close to 40 years ago, which was, I feel like, really late to start, because I meant to start like 5 years before that, but whatever. When it was still Twitch Creative, and like everybody doing creative things was in one place, and that was like artists and game developers and people making things and whatever. They were all in one place. Discoverability, I feel like I got a raid every other stream. And sometimes it was just from illustrators or, you know, just random other people making things. And as soon as Twitch did the massive schism and like split everything to pieces, and in particular made the like ghetto known as science and tech, it basically stopped. Like I you know, I've frequently taken breaks and come back, and I had a raid 2 days ago, and I feel like that was my first raid in a year or something like that. Yeah, it's just too much. I mean, maybe discoverability is good in the swimsuit catalog. What is that called? beaches and pools and hot tubs and underwear. But that, I mean, maybe discoverability is great there, or the licking plastic section, the plastic, the ASMR, I think it's called, the oral sex on plastic, is also, it seems like maybe it's doing well. I guess this section is kind of newer, the programming and game development, as distinct from science and tech, although, which I guess is maybe good for, you know, people creating things with technology, but that seems even worse for science and tech, because science and tech was such a like dusty corner to begin with, which is sad. But now it's like you've pulled all the game developers out of there, which from my perspective seem to be some of the most active channels in there. Like, you know, Lana Lux and Casey Muratori and Jonathan Blow and, you know, other game developers that were in that were in science and tech and now they're not. So I don't even know who's. Maybe Mr. Wizard should come back from the dead and stream in science and tech. I liked Mr. Wizard. Okay, anyway, we have a dumb seam, and I think I know what the seam is. We need to look at their UV calculation. That's an interesting. AstroConnect. Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. Wait, who's Security Live? Is there a cop in the channel? And also, did the thing break again? It's probably broken. Hello, Security Live. AstroConnect, very kind of you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, DJ. Who are these people in this channel? DJ Tio. DJ Tio appears to be part cyborg, which, you know, cyborgs are welcome here. I used to think that I had a policy of kind of strict, I don't know, when I was imagining the wars that will inevitably arrive between the gene spliced people and the cyborg people and the stock humans. I guess, you know, the genetically engineered transhumans and the cybernetically enhanced transhumans. Yeah, I don't know. I always thought that I would stay stock, but now I'm not so sure. Oh my gosh, you're out of control. Okay, the thing is working. That's good. It's good Bot Made This is working. I think that's probably going to break soon. AstroConnect, that is so kind of you. I really appreciate it. But now I don't know. Like, one, my dad had a heart valve replacement, so he's part cyborg now. And so, like, I don't want to go to war with my own dad. My brother has hearing aids. My siblings all have glasses. Like, you know, my... You're part cyborg too? See, yeah, so now I feel... I don't know. I'm semi-stock human right now, except I have to get infusions every 8 weeks because to suppress my immune system so it doesn't kill me. So I don't even know what I am. I'm like in some category of self-destructing humans. So I don't know. Maybe I just won't pick sides for the moment. Maybe I'll lean fully into all of them. Okay, so here's the thing. I think we are never, I don't know exactly, I mean, I'm just looking at their math trying to figure out what's going on. But we never fully make it, you know what I mean? Like it feels to me like we never fully make it. And it's not that hard to make a... So another way to put it is I don't think we are ever hitting 1 in our here, which in this case would be fully all the way, all the way around 2 pi and all the way up to pi. I don't think we're making it all the way, and I think because of that, we're ending up with seams. But I made this spin too slow, so we just have to wait all day. I mean, AstroConnect, I know that you're colluding with aliens, so your participation in the human, the different human factions is questionable. Oh my gosh, out of control. El Taco makes. Are these people just like coming through here wondering what's going on and they're hearing me complaining about human-cyborg relations? Human-cyborg relations. What is that phrase from? Oh, is that a Star Wars thing? Is that like a C-3PO thing? Human-cyborg relations. Okay, yeah, it's C-3PO. Oh my gosh, I can't believe a Star Wars thing came into my brain. Wait, C-3PO is not a cyborg, he's a robot. Are there any cyborgs in Star Wars? Isn't everybody a human or a robot? They're not even humans. Wait, they're not humans. They live in a galaxy far, far away. What are their humans doing there? There's no humans. I don't know what those things are, but they're not humans. There's a hole in the plot. That's the one hole in the plot of all of Star Wars. No other holes in the plot at all. Everything else, rock solid. Just the consideration of who's actually a cyborg and who is a human. Neither of which, I think, are part of Star Wars. Okay, so what do we want to do here? We have a couple options. Either we go through and we try to like normalize. No, everything, I don't know if you know this, but everything about the physics, everything about the science, everything in Star Wars is 100% accurate. There's no holes in the science at all, and there's no holes in the plot at all. Everything makes total sense. Everything meshes together perfectly. There's nothing wrong with it. It's basically rock solid. It's not true. Oh, AstroConnect, thank you for all the subs. I'm gonna make tens of dollars. It's gonna be incredible. And Jeff Bezos can buy a new screw for his yacht, I guess. What is going on with that saga? There's the yacht, Bezos yacht bridge, where they're having to like tear down a historic bridge. Is this, or not tear it down necessarily, but dismantle it? 1,000 signs. Oh, really? How is he supposed to get his mega yacht out if this stupid bridge is in the way? When I first saw this, I was confused. It's in Rotterdam? I was confused because this looks a whole lot at a glance. I mean, if you look at it, you can tell it's not, but it looks like, is it the Burnside Bridge? I think I would know this. So many bridges in Portland. It's not the Burnside Bridge. What bridge am I thinking of? 5 Portland bridges worth visiting. What are the bridges that aren't worth visiting? Rude. I'm sorry, it's the Hawthorne Bridge. Kind of reminded me of the Hawthorne Bridge. So when I first saw it, I was like, I mean, I guess it's also kind of like the Steel Bridge. Steel Bridge doesn't have the archies. These little arcs, this kind of thing. The Elliott Smith song, where he talks about going coast to coast over the Hawthorne Bridge. That is always in my head when I go over the Hawthorne Bridge. which isn't that often. Normally I cross the Broadway Bridge. So I go from coast to coast over the Hawthorne Bridge. He should. That's actually true. He should just send it up in a rocket and have it land wherever he wants. I don't understand why the Broadway Bridge didn't make the list. Burn. Why does everybody hate the Broadway? I mean, the St. John, this bridge is lovely. Like this view from Cathedral Park, it's quite beautiful. It's true. It's a very good bridge. It's not quite as accessible. I mean, I almost don't even, it would almost escape my mind just because it isn't in the like, you know, in the lineup of East Side, like downtown Portland to East Side. I don't really include the cathedral, the St. John's Bridge, but it's lovely. I do like it. The Broadway Bridge. What's wrong with this bridge? Not good enough, I guess. It's not a bad bridge. I cross it frequently. But I don't know. Okay, anyway, we're getting very distracted. So we have two options here. One, either we like go through their... Go think about this for a second. Either we get the plane geometry that we already have and we go through and like renormalize, I guess is a way to put it, their UVs. Which would not be too hard. Or we build our own plane, which would be kind of annoying and it would just be redoing a lot of work. Or we just like grab a plane, you know, we just make a plane in Maya, deliberately normalize the UVs. And I mean, is that actually the problem? Let me think about this for a second. Like, we're never going to hit grid X1 here, and because of that, this will never be 1. Is that correct to say? Like, this loop precludes us from IX ever being equal to grid X1, and because of that, since it's never equal to this, we'll never get a UV of 1. I think that is a fair assessment. Oh, AstroConnect, no problem. Thank you so much for using heat, and thank you for the subs, and thank you for the food for thought regarding Patreon. I will definitely consider it. The other option is I just start wearing a swimsuit. Or I get one of those ASMR ears. I could just 3D print an ear, I guess, and just put it in my mouth. Or it doesn't have to be an ear. It could be anything. You could 3D print anything. Do you think people would do that? The thing is, I mean, you're right, Kyle. There's also like buy me coffee or whatever. Just have people send me cash. But I thought you're supposed to be a proper entrepreneur. You want that passive income, right? You want people to enter that credit card info on Patreon and then forget about it. And then once you send them a sticker or something, right? Kyle, are you rich yet? When are you going to get rich and be my financial advisor? I was almost rich yesterday. It's not true. Oh my gosh. This is not a good look. How does this how's this look? This is not a great day. I'm gonna say maybe not for anybody. Maybe nobody's having a good day today. I don't have positions in all of these, no. But these are, I generally don't invest in individual securities anymore. I did that a lot when I was younger, but I don't do that. But recently, I did decide to put I wouldn't call it a full-on YOLO, but there's two particular securities that I decided to lean into a little bit. And I still have confidence. I do still have confidence in them. It's just going to take a little time, I think. But mostly I use robots. So I use like Wealthfront, Betterment. Wealthfront just got purchased. But overall, those have done just fine for me over time. Last few months, maybe not so much. But okay, I think what I'm going to do is try to renormalize the UVs, which I think I can do. I think that's fine, right? Like, I think I can just... Is there a reason I can't do that? When I make this geometry here, can I just go through and do whatever I want? Like for X is less than... If we do that, we have to subtract 1, right? X is less than resolution. So if we do this and we're less than, we have to then do... this is not the way to do this, though. Let me think about this for a second. This is actually kind of a weird one. How are we going to address... I think this is not what we want to do. We want to iterate through the UVs. Like, how are we going to get our index for which UV we're talking about? The Amazon gift card extension, is that the secret? I'm not quite sure about the logistics of that. But then everybody could buy me nice tools. Or I could buy my own nice tools. I feel like Twitch would shut that down. It's weird. Because on the one hand, you'd be like, well, that's like, Twitch doesn't get their cut. But it's Amazon, so people are spending money on Amazon, so maybe they would love it. That's hard. That's a hard one. Twitch is not known for consistent ethical stances. So... Speaking of, I talked to Twitch last week, and they were supposed to email me this week. And I believe that did not happen. Is that... I probably should get banned, like a temporary ban, and then I could be like on the live stream fail subreddit. How should I do it? Like, one option is I just don't wear pants during my stream and I like get up and go to the bathroom and forget. And then you just realize that I'm always topless from the waist down. In fact, not even the waist, but I'm wearing a crop top that stops right below the nipples. Just right there. And so you don't have any idea. Okay, so this is going to be a little annoying because it's not just like a XY to index thing. Because our stride is going to be 2, basically. So what is the easiest way to address this? In other words, it's not... These aren't pairs. It's just a long list of UV coordinates. So... oh my gosh. Okay. So... I don't know. This is always a hassle to think about. So, like, to figure out where our U is, like our U index, is going to be a little annoying. In the UV collection, which I think is just straight up an array, right? Like, is that attribute? You know, it's easier actually to just do it ourselves. Like, basically just do this and we'll just make our own. This I think is easier. Because then we don't have to think about it. We don't have to care about where we are. Oops. We can just push. So it's almost the same, but I think it's x divided by resolution -1 and y. They invert it, which I don't really care about. I don't think. Y divided by resolution divided by 2 minus 1. Something like this. And then can we do a geometry dot? I mean, it's just this, right? I don't know if there's some reason I can't do that. Where do we learn about a float32 buffer attribute? That's in core. Oh, so it's just going to be 3. What is with all the messages? I have some jobs. There's a job coming up that could be like good. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, did this work? I guess a very easy thing to do would be to make it spin fast. We could at least see if our seam is gone. So it still looks like we have a hole at top. It looks like we got rid of the seamer on the sides, but it feels like we still have a hole at the top. So first, I guess we should make sure that the thing that I'm doing is actually working. So for example, if I didn't do this, do we have a seam? Okay, so there's that seam there. And if we do this, it could also be, it could certainly be another problem. That seems like that fixed that seam, though. I mean, this is not very... Wait, no, I saw a weird seam. But that actually was not a seam. That was a... X divided. So we're going up 2 resolution divided by 2. -1. Subtract 1. So this should be from 0 up to that number. So it should be from 0 to 1, like inclusive, I think. But it's a little hard. Kyle, what are you doing with your life? What do you do all day? You out there hustling? I'm so curious about the day-to-day life of Kyle. So there is a breakdown here. See there's like something weird happening. And it's a little hard to say exactly what that issue is. Is it? I mean, I'm honestly a little unclear whether I'm making things better or worse here, to be totally honest with you. This looks maybe right to me. Like we're going around resolution on the x-axis. That kind of makes sense. We're stopping short of it, but that means we're going to have 256 times. But that means this would be 255, so this could be up to 255, so this could be 0. But it feels like this just gives us that weird break. I had another idea where we like try to always leave the seam in the back. And just animate, like look at that little something. I'm gonna keep this because it feels conceptually correct to me. Even though it may be, yeah, like what is this? Like something is breaking down. All right, there's still a giant hole. Okay, did I do this incorrectly? I mean, the problem is it's going to be terrible to look at. We have the UV attributes. We got all these fun numbers. 65, 535. Does that make sense that there'd be 65, 535? It should be 256 times 128 times 2. So that does make sense. Which I guess is the same as 256 squared. Normalized equals false. Huh. Well, it is normalized. So I don't know if that makes any difference. I wonder how it uses that internally. Terrier Darts, how are you doing? You followed a few days ago. I don't know if I got to thank you for that. Did I? I can't remember anything, but thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Okay, did that fix things or make them worse? I wonder, I don't know internally what it's doing there. It doesn't look fixed. Do you see that? There's like a little bit of... But again, it's a thing I just don't intuitively know with this formula that issue could be... Now that looks actually broken. So... Not really. So this float 32 buffer attribute. This normalized. We said true for that parameter. Source normalized. I just don't know what it, like, how does it use that? How is that relevant? Maybe that's a render time thing. Oh, right. Yes. Now I remember you were in the raid. I know. We gotta just. It's like a. I mean, for all you know, I broke it on purpose. Maybe I broke it on purpose. Okay, so it's kind of you to say that you're a fan of my work. Does that include when I just stare at UV generation code and don't really know what's going on? Because that's probably one of the things I'm best at. Okay, well, let's do this. This is going to be silly. It's going to be a silly thing to do, but let's just do this. What appears on screen will be a nightmare, if anything appears on screen. But maybe we can at least try to understand what's going on with our UVs. So even that's too big. I really just want 2 by 1. Oh, we got some nans in there. That's not good. What did I do? Divided by 2 less than. Oh yeah, that would. Yeah, we got to divide by 0. Don't do that. Don't ever divide by 0. Okay, we have to do 4. That gives us 16. That's good. I mean, I feel like if there's one service I can provide to the world is to let people have confidence that nobody knows what they're doing. And some people go out of their way to like really hide that, but why hide it? Okay, we have 16 values here. What I want to happen this looks wrong. This all looks like extraordinarily wrong. Okay, what is that? What would that look like? That would be, I need more emails. I don't want any emails except for a shipment notification. Nope. Okay. So we're asking to create a grid of 4x2. Right? Like this. You can't see that. Can't see it at all. Anyway, trust me, it's a grid of 4x2. I feel like if I have it at just the right angle to the camera. Yeah, great. 4x2 grid. And we will have individual vertices for this, which we will have 15 of, 16 of. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Because it's really 3 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's sort of confusing. I guess, oh, interesting. Maybe I need to reconsider how this is actually working. "16 vertices, 0, 0, 1. I don't understand this. If we're moving along... Okay, here's one problem. I think that was one of our problems. Okay. So we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 0 through 15. That still doesn't seem right. Wait. We should have we basically should have a row where all the y's are 0. One, 2, 3, 4. All our y's are 0 there. And then we have 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, right. I need to reconsider this. The grid is not the correct way to think of it. It is actually, that's the vertices that we have. So our resolution is not the grid. Our resolution is 4 vertices and then 2 vertices. So it actually would look like this. So it's not, I drew the grid, but that's incorrect. This is what we want. It's really just this. So it's essentially 3 faces is what we currently have. So if we do that, we would expect that we'd have for x, so we'd have 0, 0, which makes total sense. We'd have 1/3 and 0, which makes total sense. We'd have 2/3 and 0, which makes total sense. Then we'd have 1. Now we've bumped up in y. And 0. Wait, sorry, these are the pairs. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 pair, 2 pairs, 3 pairs, 4 pairs. This is the next row here. Y is 1 but 0, and then 1/3, 2/3, 1, 1. So this looks like the numbers I want, right? Like this looks like the numbers I want, but it actually could be that I had like used the wrong resolution. But by going, I need to go row first, then column, I think. Actually, how is their plane geometry? Yeah, it's like row then column, which makes more sense. Like, you know, you normally think of things in terms of X, Y, but when you're iterating, it makes it a little more sense to iterate through the Ys row by row and then the X's. Even if you're sort of addressing it column first, I guess you might say. So anyway, now we should be able to do, I don't know. I don't want this to be so huge that it's unmanageable, but I do want to actually see it on the screen. Okay, so here's this deal, and I think it just doesn't have enough geometry to actually draw. But the only thing I'm really interested in is whether the last entry in this array of 1024 is 1, 1, which it is. So we are hitting 1, 1. Which is what I want. And if we go 256, so it gives us 256 along one axis and 128 along the other. So now do I need to go switch something that I had up here? Theta all the way. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Ah, well, shoot. That does seem right. I think we have our phi and theta inverted at the moment. Where is our... I don't think this is the problem. Let's just see it. Yeah. I think our problem is actually here, but... Look at the crazy place that puts the seam. Why would that be true? This still doesn't make sense to me. I want the theta, which is going along X, and that is where we should have more resolution, right? We want the extra resolution basically on the belt here. And their order is to push X first, then Y, which would be what I would assume to be the natural... I actually don't understand this at all. Why would switching this invert? I don't know, man. But we still have that little dude. So what is with that little dude? Is that like an issue of... Not a rounding issue. I mean, we're all integers, and we feel pretty comfortable with this formula. In integer land, our constants for... I mean, this should be plenty of resolution for... So along the x-axis is where we should have the most resolution. And I feel like that checks out in the way our curves look. Like we essentially just want a bit more detail there. Is there something going wrong?
That ideas aren't static, but fluid, like water. B.
Do we need this? No, that didn't fix it. Are you mad? As well? Like, I just don't know, like, hitting one there, is that a problem? Like, that would be 360 degrees, basically. And should we enforce a wraparound to 0? Is this some dumb rounding error? Wish there was... Actually, it's kind of weird. Isn't that weird? There's not, like, a pi constant. look at that pie.
Be like water.
Well, that's a lot more decimal points. So that's obviously going to make things better. Or it could make them worse. Who knows? No, we still have... So one thing we could do is color this with our UVs and try to understand exactly what's going on. This is going to probably look crazy and be hard to really know what's going on. That Y does not look right to me. What did we decide we needed? 1 0 1 0 1 0 1 0. So what we're looking for, let's just look at it one at a time. What we're looking for is a gradient that fully goes 0 1 0 1 0 1 0 1. Is that fully goes from 100% red to fully black, wrapping around the x-axis. And that kind of doesn't look right to me. You know what I mean? Like, to me, I mean, we have some bloom on. Let's turn the bloom off. To me, it looks like it's red, like, during the first 50%, and then flips over, which is not... You know what I mean? Like, the gradation kind of looks like... It looks to me like there's no gradation during the first. It's hard to tell. It's hard to eyeball. But, like, there's a moment, like, right there, before it wraps around, that it really looks 100% red. That's really hard to say, just with your eyes, but that's kind of what it looks like. I guess a way we could test this is with a UV texture. Might give us a little insight. So I like a UV texture like this is probably fine. I mean, I guess I don't have insanely strong opinions. It just needs to be really easy to identify where your UVs are doing their business. Okay, so let's save image. Why are you a JPEG? Oh my gosh, am I making you hungry for pie? Let's talk about pie. Okay, we'll talk about pies. Pie. I am a bit more of a cake person, I gotta say. Like, some people like fruity pies. I feel like you just eat fruit just for, you know, you just eat fruit all the time. Fruit's not a dessert. Fruit's just food. My personal opinion. Sometimes I like a fruity dessert, apple pie, things like that. I'm more of a cake person. If we are getting into pie land, cake and pie is over your head. I mean, it's complicated. Well, we can actually, I think that, I don't know if you're interested in this, but I think I find the notion of UV coordinates versus like 3D Cartesian, you know, place things in space is kind of a cool concept. And it's cool once you understand it that you can sort of cheat with it the way we're kind of cheating with it. Actually, this is my preferred UV texture, but I think this bigger gradient is going to help us. So that means I have to remember how to do this. I don't remember how Because we want the shader material, and we want one of our uniforms to be a texture, and I just don't remember how to do it actually. Well, let's talk for 1 second about UVs. So UVs are really called UVs just because they're leftover letters. I think that confuses some people, but it's basically, if you're talking about a point in space, we often talk about it as XYZ. So like if you're drawing a sphere, you might talk about all these points on the sphere as XYZ coordinates to draw something, or a cube, or whatever you're drawing. But the issue is, if you want to draw on the surface of this thing, it's hard to do that in 3D space. Like, it becomes really complicated. It's like, I want to tell you what this triangle looks like, but how am I going to do that in 3D? So the whole concept of UVs is just basically to say, like, we'll just do stuff on a piece of paper, and then you can kind of like wrap a 2D piece of paper, and then you're going to kind of like wrap it around the skin of the 3D mesh. Almost like, you know, like if you had a cloth geodesic dome or something like that, where you have the 3D geometry of the dome. You know, there's 3D geometry under here, but the original piece of fabric was probably just a flat piece of fabric. And so if you wanted to draw something on the side of the dome, you could have done that while it was still a flat piece of fabric. And so that's kind of what UVs are. So as an example, in Three.js, these are the UVs of a sphere. So if I want to draw something on a sphere, I don't have to like figure out in space how to do that. I can just do it on this flat piece of paper. And then the UV coordinates is just like a map that says, how do I put this image on this thing, basically. And depending on the geometry you're drawing, the UVs can be weird and they can get complicated, and there's lots of strange things you can do with UVs. You could have like a 3D character UVs. Like in the old days, if you had like a Quake character or something, but they might look like this, but it's still the same concept. It's just saying, like, I have a 3D model here that I want to describe the surface of, or what's going on the surface. This is a way that I can think about that in 2D, and then it will get kind of wrapped around like a vinyl wrap or something. So it's very common. It's like almost anything you see in a video game or something in 3D will have something going on, probably textures that are just being mapped from UV space. But you don't have to use it for that. So what I'm using it for is to say I have a 2D thing, like a plane, and I want to, so it's like you gave me a map that looks like this. This is the UVs for a plane. You gave me a plane, but when you give me the numbers, instead of me just doing, you know, what you'd normally do and just think of it as a flat thing, I'm going to do weird stuff to it. And I'm going to like move the pieces around to make this deformed sphere. So it's a handy thing to understand. Both, you know, of course, in the standard usage of just drawing stuff in 3D, but also to understand that you can kind of do stuff you want. So, and I'm meaning like manipulate whatever. You can use it to draw colors like I've done here. The colors we're actually seeing are from the UVs. When I do this, we're actually affecting the shape with the UVs and so on and so forth. So it's a pretty powerful thing. You can see the weirdness is happening kind of as I expected. Like, that's really what it looks like to me, is like our UVs are stacked in a way that is not correct. They're kind of squished. Maybe they're wrapping around. It actually looks like they're being clamped almost. But the UVs that we had in our little printout did not seem crazy to me. And actually, let me put it back to the way that I think was more correct. Just because if we're going to troubleshoot, let's try to troubleshoot in the way that makes a little more sense. But I think, well, I guess then we're really effed up here. It looks kind of cool. These holes are interesting. I think maybe we're seeing back faces or something. I'm not totally sure. Or we're like pulling through to the negative side. So, okay, never mind. Let's fix one thing at a time. coordinate. Yeah, it just looks like they're squished. But let's get this texture on here, and my hope is that the texture will help us just visually identify what's going on. I think I see what's going on now. Even just looking at this, it's kind of making sense that like, oh yeah, we're just squished on one axis. I don't really understand why. It's just something dumb. Probably something that I have done. I mean, almost clearly something I have done. So what do we call our... We have UVs. Okay, so now I should have a uniform that represents the texture that I want to draw. Uniform is just like... It's a variable that you can send to a shader that applies to everything in the shader, basically. This is the new syntax value. Okay, new syntax. And then in the shader itself, which unfortunately is not in this. There it is. We need a sampler, and then we'll sample it based on the UVs and all that fun stuff. So in the frag shader, oops. We've got our texture. We need this varying UV. We do need this so we can just send the UVs across without messing with them. I think that's all we need to do. So let's make sure we're still functional. And actually that looked okay. It's hard to say because sometimes it looks fine and sometimes it looks like there's a major traffic jam. Like that looks like there's a big traffic jam there. But so now that we have this in here, I think we can just do this, sample that texture based on the UVs. So there's in shaders like this, there's two pieces. This is the simplification, but there's generally two pieces. One of them that says what are the vertices doing of the geometry, and that's the vert shader. And one part is how do you connect those dots? What's going on in between those vertices, basically. So if we look back at like that, look at a wireframe, like whatever, the vertices would be describing where all these little points go, where the intersections are of this mesh. The edges don't really exist; they're just kind of there imaginary. Or like these, where these dots are. And then the fragment shader is what says how do you color it? How do you color it in? How do you color in what's going on in the lines, or whatever? It doesn't have to be color, but it fills in the blanks kind of between the vertices. So we broke this. What did we break? 3 texture loader. Okay, so we're just using some older. Should have paid more attention before I just stole that from Stack Overflow. Obviously. Okay, how are you actually supposed to use this? My guess appears to be incorrect. We make a new texture loader. I'll load the URL. I don't really like this. I guess I can just set that uniform then. Is that okay? I guess so. By setting the uniforms, it's all going to be okay. I don't have to do anything fancy. Seems a little suspect. So when we load this, then can we just say our uniforms? I don't believe you. Made a texture loader. Oh boy, where's the actual documentation? Of course, DuckDuckGo would never take us where we need to be. But Google does. Yep, first result. So, well, this looks better. Why aren't we doing it this way? Because we listened to DuckDuckGo. Never again. That's not true. I'll just keep forgetting to change it. Do this, do this, do this. Okay. Very, very blind and silly at the moment. So what's wrong with the frag shader? A model of my head? Yeah. Actually, I need to... There's some 3D scanning stuff I need to get into. So, yes. Maybe I can't. Const medium flip P. What? What are you mad about? There's that Apple object scanning API, which weirdly they just don't seem to have a easy way to use. Shader material, environment map. How do you do it? We get this, we load the texture. From the load. That seems fine, but then what do we do with that? Scene.background. But where's the... What? Why did it link here for custom shader? We're talking about shader material. I just want to see one with shader material, fragment shader. Object loader. Good grief. How do you do it? I'm sure I'm just missing something obvious. Well, that wouldn't explain the shader breaking. So So what is the actual problem in here? I mean, is it literally just don't call this texture? Okay, it was. Okay, so it's a little hard to tell what's going on, but let's do 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. It's upside down, which we knew that. And I said I didn't care, but now I care. So let's go invert. Let's invert this. Interesting. By inverting that. Okay. That's okay. I see. So we were seeing the back faces, I guess. Interesting. So this looks insane. But let's try 0, 1. No. 0, 1. 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. So that is really, that little twisty makes no sense to me. Why would that be true? Let me get rid of, let's do a couple things. Let's, yeah, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. Okay, let's default to this. I don't know why I'm getting the twisty. It's pretty weird. The lines look correct-ish. Let's get rid of this mod, because I don't think that's actually what's causing our problem. And maybe we're introducing more insanity. I don't know. Oops. Okay. What? What? What is going on? Wait, is that in the texture? Is it in the texture and I'm just ridiculous? Is there a line in the texture? There's no line in the texture. So I... What? What are you mad about? Okay, that would be, let's just draw a plane. And normally we don't even care about the size, so I think we can do this. Just to get a little closer. Okay, I have some weird shearing, so I think my UVs are busted. That's my... I think my UVs are not happy. They seem like they're like one off or something. Okay, they are. So my UVs are broken for reasons I don't think I understand. Just to see. Okay, I don't think that does anything here. Okay, what's wrong with my UVs? So we want to go down every... I assume that, let's make sure of this. Plane geometry, I'm pretty sure is width. how many segments the width has, how many... So Dirage. I'm trying to figure... I'm just making a mess of UVs. I'm trying to make this pretty... recreate this thing that I did in Unity. It's going to be for like a framed installation, and then maybe a little installation that'll go at the Children's Museum in Pittsburgh. Maybe controlled by Leap Motion. But I'm trying to port it to WebGL. It's alert, not alarm. But I think I may have muted it. Unless there's like, maybe it's only on VIP events. I can't remember because it does drive me a little crazy. I just need to make it a sound that doesn't drive me insane. So I know I could maybe, I need to like a visual bell. So like a nice little thing appears in the corner. So I don't drive myself insane with the Metal Gear Solid alert. Okay, let's think about this. Resolution and resolution divided by 2. Why is it getting offset over time? Doesn't really make sense. It's something about, so the buffer that was created, size of UV, should this actually be, so let's check where they make their UVs. I think I'm just missing something. Grid Y1. Okay, go to bed, Diraj. Good luck at the gym in the morning. It was nice to see you. Maybe this thing will work next time you come back. Aw. That crab looks a little swole. The crab looks like... Maybe that crab's been going to the gym. Okay. So... Okay, go on Monday. That's fair. All right, tomorrow's the weekend. Take the weekend off. Go on Monday. You earned a weekend off, and you can eat an entire cake. Yeah, it's holiday time. Take a break. You earned it. Okay, so... What's my problem? Nah, take 3 weeks off. You've earned it. I'll give you permission. And just to be clear, the UVs that Three.js makes are not broken the way mine are. Theirs are good. Mine are not good. Mine are like... Is that the width? The height divided by 2. That's the number of segments for the width. That's the number of segments for the height. Are these backwards? I don't think so. No. This should be out of... And I do think the -1s were correct. Oh, it's not because I'm doing 4x4, right? It doesn't... That doesn't come into play? The scale shouldn't affect the UVs, right? Width and height. Grid X, grid Y is only based on the segments, and that's all we're using in here. Number of segments. Half the height. No, I think that's okay. Okay, I'm gonna try. Let's just... for a second, not So even making it a square, I'm just off somehow. And these are definitely less thans in their code, right?
All right, let's bring that beat back.
So they do UVs. They add all their UVs. They do this float32 buffer attribute with the UVs. I'm going to say normalize as false for a second. I want to try to just recreate what they have going on because I feel like... What am I doing? Okay. Just to be crystal clear. Grid X and grid Y is really just like rounding this down. I mean, is that some stupid thing about... I don't think so. Oh. It's grid Y1. I see. I see. But if that's true, then then it should be correct. If that's true, then it should have already been right, and I was just wasting my time this whole time. But it doesn't. Where are we hitting 1-1? I guess we're hitting 1-1 right here. Okay, so everything I said about the UVs is wrong because I missed that subtraction. So I think the UVs they give us are actually correct. And all that was a waste of time. But great, now we know. Then that still doesn't explain the weird little gaps. But okay, let's do... It's good to know. That was a... So this is... I hate stuff like this. Like this. Oh boy. Like, it's just so easy to just miss that in that variable name that it wasn't the grid Y and that these were different variables. I just glossed right over it. 100% glossed over it. This is not my idea of good variable names, I must say. But whatever. It's my fault. I missed it, but it's kind of missable. Okay, at very low resolutions, this thing appears to have no seams. If we get crazy, we can get kind of a seashell shape. Seashells. I still do want half resolution on one axis, though. 1, 2, 3. Not really seem right, does it? I mean, this is essentially spherizing a plane. Like it's a 2D Cartesian to polar. There's nothing fancy here. We're not doing anything fancy. We don't want to do anything fancy. We just want to get enough resolution in it that we can, you know, it doesn't look bad. Like that. You know, and I guess that's the one big difference, or a big difference between what I had going on versus what... Let's see. Let's look at... We got Paul Burke. I think all of his were integer. I mean, I think as long as they are all integers, and it may only need to be that the exponents are integers. I don't think it. I think so. I think it's those other coefficients need to be integers. That you don't get the weird thing. Kind of like the texture though. but we go 0.9 and then we hit 1. So that seems, that looks like it's correct now, I think. Let's just double check. 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. I don't understand the upside downness though, because I thought they did. I mean, it could be me. Maybe I need to invert my phi. Uh-oh. Then I have to invert my x. Which it's a little hard to tell, but I think that's correct. But if we try 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, we get these points where things break down. And I don't understand it. I don't know where that's happening. I don't know if it's happening here. I don't know if it's happening in our conversion back. But as long as the exponents are not 1, even if they're just slightly above 1, we don't have those. I mean, if they're straight up 1, yeah. So I don't know. It feels like there's ways to solve this mathematically, like there's some mathematically correct solution to this, or we just continue to put little band-aids on it. Let's go back to our frag shader. Let's go back to our color, which certainly needs work, but okay, then I frankly don't know what to tell you in terms of what have we accomplished here. I guess we discovered that the thing I thought was broken was not broken, and that some of the issues were issues that I introduced, but at least we can now feel like that little gap. But if all of these coefficients are but that's sucks, right? Because that's what I want to be animating. So I don't want those to have to be. So here's an idea. And I tried to do this in Unity and it wasn't working. But let's try to like set up a bad situation where we have a clear split, right? And the reason we have that issue, which doesn't exactly make sense to me, right? Because if those UVs, if the vertices right there, that really doesn't make sense to me. Actually, it really doesn't. I would have thought that either that the sign, like the sign of 0 radians is the same as the sign of pi radians, right? Is that wrong? I mean, and when we added the mod, it did not magically solve our problem. But it's hard to, I mean, I just don't know. Is it because our pi is approximate or whatever? Like, I don't know the answer, actually. These kids today and their approximate pies. Like, I thought we tried this before and it did not guarantee no holes. But I should have paid more attention to like, what are the circumstances that create holes? I think it is like one of these, like Levy kind of operations. So maybe the mod is not exact. I wouldn't say that it's fixing it, but maybe it's helping prevent holes at least, which would kind of make sense. I mean, maybe our pi is approximate, so maybe there's a problem there. Like when we're sending this approximate value that isn't actually pi, isn't actually 2 pi, that error is substantial enough that it is a problem. I don't know. Or maybe I'm just wrong in my assumption that it's like this is the case with this sort of spirally along. I think this is the case you'd normally see a split, and I think our mod is helping fix that split, I think. So that may be kind of the best we can hope for, which is good, because I think in Unity, I don't think I actually fully solved that. Another thing we could try, which it seems like maybe is a non-issue, so maybe we don't have to try, but is to, I'm actually curious about this, is to not rotate here. I was trying to do this before, but it was when we were using the vertices to figure stuff out. So let's go back to this little ditty. I wonder if we're hurting ourselves at a certain point beyond a certain number of digits of pi. I don't think we're gaining much. Okay, so the thing I wanted to try, since we have this mod anyway, is like, can I do this? What, didn't I add a time? I don't understand why I can't do that. It's very twitchy. Maybe it's just way too big. Like if I'm offsetting that, you know what I'm doing? You know what I'm trying to do? Like I'm trying to get some value, and I just want to create an offset. Did I break my time update or something? We're updating the time uniform based on the elapsed time. So it's not the delta, it's the elapsed time. What I would expect here, and maybe I'm just way off, is that we would be like kind of rotating theta based on the value we get. I mean, so another option actually would be don't do it at this stage, but just do it here, which might get weird. But why? Why doesn't this do anything? I mean, it's jiggly. For whatever jiggly is worth. Like, to me, this should be... Am I just totally missing something? can't do this. Like what thing am I missing? Because I'm later recalculating this based on, or am I not? Am I not? No, we're recalculating this based on, like, we're figuring out totally new coordinates. And it's not like we're just using the old coordinates and applying the radius. We're figuring out entirely new XYZ coordinates. And so all of that, if we're modifying, like, what am I missing? Like, I would expect this. What are you mad about? Can't modify input UV. That's weird. I mean, it's jiggly. Is this not correct? Like, is there something wrong with the way I'm sending that uniform? So I have a float uniform. What am I doing, everybody? Like, if I'm offsetting the UVs, what? I mean, it just feels like I'm missing something extremely obvious. Like, it feels like I should be sweeping around, sampling. Is there something wrong with my uniform? Yeah, there it comes. So we're like 12, so like we're slowly growing. We have a number that's getting bigger. As it approaches 255, this will turn red. So I feel like we're getting time into our shader properly. I guess let's go back to the texture. So if this was working, you would expect that me messing with VUVX and like adding time would animate that shader. Which would, okay, so without the mod, it just was unhappy. What am I missing? You mad at this? You don't like this? I mean, I feel like I'm just missing something dumb. feel like this is a thing I've done before. It's such a simple thing. Like the idea of animating. Maybe if I set it to repeat. Like if I did, but it's the texture that you set to repeat, right? Like not the... I feel like there's just got to be some totally obvious, dumb... some obvious dumb thing, right? Like... What am I doing wrong? I don't know. I don't understand. I don't quite get it. Like I would expect even like this M0. That mod not working the way that I think it does. Do I need mod F? Seems not happy. Oh. Am I just thinking about this incorrectly? Not really look like it. Okay, stop vlogging. Where's David? I need him. I feel like I just feel like it should be a totally trivial thing and I'm just not getting it. What's wrong with me? Is it really what I want? I do want mod. I don't want pract. I want mod. So why doesn't this work? But also, why is it not working? I like, I don't know. I feel like I'm losing my mind here. I just want like uv.x v uv.x plus, like, let's say m1 mod 1. Is that not how you want this? I feel like this is just should be an insanely obvious thing, and I'm so baffled why I'm struggling so much with it. But I guess for mod 1, fract is right. Is that right? For mod 1, fract is what I want? Ugh. Even though it feels like it does nothing? I don't know. I feel like I'm just running blind at this point. Like, you can see some flickering and artifacts like something is happening. I just am not doing this right. But I'm changing. Like, VUV is what should end up over here, and VUV is what we're using. So, like, what? I'm not, like, overwriting it later or something, am I? Okay, just total refresh. Anytime we refresh, then like, we always have this 0.4 is basically in the middle, right? This 0.7 and this 0.4. So if I just added 0.5 to this, 0.4 is still in the middle. Why? Am I doing something incredibly dumb? Just like, I mean, at a certain point, it's doing stuff, right? Like it's, if that's more than one, it's, come on, buddy. What? Why would it still be okay here? And I mean, it makes sense that it would eventually be off, but you would think that it would be. I feel like I'm lost. There's something, it feels like the most normal thing in the world to just offset UVs. It does not feel like that should be weird. Unless I'm just truly missing something super obvious. Which I might be. You kind of see something wrong there, but it's actually, that's kind of interesting. It's like it's scaling it. It's like it's a, even though I'm adding, it's almost, I don't know, that doesn't make any sense, but it almost acts like it's a, because if I don't do this, well, that's not true. I was mistaken. I feel like this should be more square also. Because the way we set up a resolution, right? Didn't we try to have more resolution with the express purpose of making these more square? Try the resolution backwards. I don't think so. That's just how it looks. I guess it doesn't really matter, right? The resolution wouldn't affect the way the texture is wrapped. Right. Unless we were tiling. We'd have to tile. We'd have to tile too, which we are not doing, so that makes sense. So I think that's still correct. Anyway, I don't know. I'm losing my mind here. I feel like I'm fully losing my mind. I don't understand why I can't mess with these UVs. Why I can't just like offset them. Like this feels like it should basically, oops. Oh, we shouldn't do that. Looks great. I think we have overlapping geometry because it's wrapping around twice, I guess. would just mean we're not making a full sweep. But why can't I just animate it? I don't understand. I don't understand. I mean, you see that sweep around. So that offset is happening, although it feels like no offset is happening in... I'm losing my entire mind. Why? What? What is happening? What is happening? What extremely obvious thing am I missing? There's something happening where these are like happening simultaneously. Oh my gosh. Okay. It's because I was doing them both simultaneously. So that makes a little more sense. Still not totally making sense, but I can at least now sweep. So I can sweep this texture, which is a thing I was trying to do. So now if I do this and I add time, good grief. So I still am confused. Like, as far as how this is working. So if I'm animating these UVs, and these UVs are where I am getting my X value, why do they appear to be stationary? Why do they appear to be stationary? Why? 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 Why do they appear to be stationary? Just for kicks, let's do this. Put this back, and now we'll see it animate across. So even though I'm clearly animating the UVs, like those values, the values that are going into these equations to get phi and theta, it doesn't matter if I'm moving them. Okay. Okay, wait. I think I understand why that is. Because whatever we put in... Okay, I understand now-ish. I guess I just needed to see it happen. I don't know if I could quite explain what's happening, but it's because we're using wherever we sample those from, whatever those values are, it doesn't matter because we're using those same values to go back here, like to kind of an unrotated version. So what we would need to do is have like, oh gosh, this is gonna be a little weird, but it would be something like this. I think. And here. And actually fract is wrong. Because that does need to be a mod. Okay. Although it's actually theta we want also, by the way. So this does need to be mod theta plus time. Okay, well, that was definitely on me. I was like I was changing two things simultaneously that effectively canceled each other out. Kind of, sort of. You can't do both, right? The thing that we're using to calculate what the radius should be, we can rotate that, or we can rotate where things are drawn, but we can't do both of those things, or they will cancel each other out. Like, it's sort of like, so another thing we could do is theta equals theta, you know, whatever, mod theta plus time 2 pi would be another option. Maybe one less mod. Okay, I can't believe it took me that long to piece together, but also I can believe it. I both can and can't. Okay, I'm feeling pretty good about the geometry at the moment. It definitely seems like there's still cases where we can end up with wonky little forks and holes. But I don't have a solution for that. And I don't think it's the geometry now, right? Because we're not moving the geometry. So it's not like, oh, it's just the edge of the plane. I don't think it's the edge of the plane. I think it's I think it's like something that happens when both phi and theta are 0. Which we could probably have some kind of if statement here or whatever to try to watch for that. Okay, oh my gosh, I can't believe it took me that long to figure that out. A little embarrassing, everybody. Little embarrassing. It's like if I'm moving the texture this way, but I'm also moving the way, like the drawing, the object this way, it's like they would appear to be stationary except for that flicker. Although in fact, the notion that they are moving kind of counter to each other is a little weird. That's why this time had to be negative. I could not easily explain to you why that is the truth. But it appears to be the truth that this calculation here sweeps the opposite direction from here. I don't know why. I don't know why that is. Okay, so what are we doing? We want, this can go back to being a color. I don't like it with the texture. Sort of interesting. Any guesses as to what I broke? Oh, I commented out all the color calculations. That's what I broke. How do we get that stupid hole again? Wait, what happened? I thought we were happy with the stupid hole. That's kind of cool. Okay, stupid hole. Do we just never want the exponents to be 0? Is that... I seem to remember that on Unity. I assume that's why we had that. We had some sort of little... this, basically. I wish there was a way in Vim to paste without yanking. Can you? Paste without yank. Can you do it? Like, this is mental. This is the answer I always see, which is like, do the mental bookkeeping of which buffers to put things in. I don't want that. When pasting over something, I don't want an implicit. Okay, so that's not bad. I could do it this way, I guess. So I just want to try this. I just need to so if we yank that, we paste it here. If I highlight this and hit period, doesn't work. If I hit period, doesn't work. Yank. Paste. Period. Yank, paste, period, no. I mean, this is why this sucks, is every thread about how you solve this is not like, here's the answer to the problem. You know, it's not like, here's a good solution. It's like, eh. Yeah, you should I feel like this is not a crazy thing to want. The last thing you yanked is always in register 0, so you can do, so 0p, that true? So I have this, I want this, yank. Yank this. This is highlighted 0p. It's quotation mark 0p. Quotation mark 0p. Oh boy. Not pleasant, really. You have to just hit p and not quotation mark 0p. What? Okay. I guess I could map to something not terrible. Yeah, I just never want that. I don't think that there's any time that I want that it's like, oh, I pasted over a thing, now I want that thing. It's like, no, if I want the thing, I'll yank it. I just want basically to never. Like Vim never yank into. I can't think of a time I ever want that. I never want it. So I could do a yank. Okay, that's another option. So the quotation mark sucks. But if I did do like AY, AP, what? No, it's quotation. You have to do quotation mark to specify the register. So the quotation mark is not pleasant. P, paste in visual mode. Okay, anyway, I think I just never want it. I never, the quotation mark puts too much friction. Like, it's just, I don't want to think about it. I mean, I could do this, do quotation mark, A, Y. Highlight this, quotation mark, A, Y, and now I have to do quotation mark, AP. I mean, it's better than 0. AP. You think I would have learned that 20 years ago, or whenever, 25 years ago when I started using Vim, but... Anyway. That was a pretty good one. Cool. But I think I decided, did I decide this? That these can be that it's okay for the exponents to be? Maybe all of them are. Maybe we don't care about the non. I mean, didn't we kind of fix that with our, or hopefully sort of fix it with the mod? Like maybe we just say we don't care if we're ever. We just try to avoid, I mean, then we end up with that stuff like that. So there's one in particular that I always want to be an integer, I think. It's like kind of a, might be M6. Just whatever gives me that like seashell-y kind of thing as it wraps around. I'm not a fan of it. It's fine when it's an integer. When it's not, you end up with kind of weird asymmetry. Okay, 3.5 hours. I feel like we have not really accomplished 3.5 hours worth of stuff, but guess it's okay. Ooh, boy, that's bad news. Cloudflare, after earnings, people seemed real happy yesterday. Today, not so happy. Oh well. Okay, so the main thing we're missing at this point from the Unity version is like the I kind of want to do the randomize here. So let's add like when I replaced all those, so did I need to do a yank into A and then highlight all these and then paste all those? Pasted them after though, that was pretty weird. Now the easier thing is just to hit C, place with the semicolon, I guess. Let's do this when we randomize. That's not right. It's the params. Shoot. This. And then really these could just be not fancy. I don't remember how to select all lines to the end. Like that. So what do we decide we like? 0. Oops. Or the sphere, and then we can call that randomize whenever we want. So if we wanted, for example, whatever, document.body.add event listener click, click on click. And I think this will update. But it doesn't update the GUI values. I think it would have like a needs update or what was this thing called? Little GUI? Little GUI. Listening and update. Update display. I think that's what we want. Maybe? Or do we have to do it per variable? That would be annoying. Controller. What's the controller? What's a controller? Is that each of these? trams here on change, and then seems silly to do this, but I don't want to have to iterate through them, and okay, whatever. Okay, we're gonna do it. Ready? Highlight this. Yank it into the A buffer. Paste it. Oops. Okay. We got our fun clicky randomize. How did my rotation end up backwards? Wait, I thought did I make time negative on purpose? Oh, maybe accidentally undid it. Okay. Okay, this is not bad. Let's quickly do the lerp. I'm gonna take a short break. I'll be right back, and then we'll do the lerp. That was the wrong thing. Hi. There's some granola. Sorry. I want to chew into the mic. I really shouldn't have done that while I was streaming, but I just couldn't resist the siren call of that granola. I mean, it's bad to have this on the body. I think we can get like render.dom element or something. I think that's it. Yes, okay. So I actually have a call in 10 minutes, so. Lure between random values. Yep, that was next on the list, but I realized I have a call. So like these, that's what we did in the old version. Why does the old version look so much better? better bloom. But yeah, so the Unity version will like over time slowly lerp. And we did at the time we figured out like some of them are okay to lerp and some of them don't look good if you lerp them. Like changes in the number of divisions along theta, like around the equator, looks kind of weird if you animate those. So that is definitely on the list to do, but unfortunately I can't do it today. So that'll just be our plan for next. Gosh, the bloom looks so much better in Unity, but we can't bloom too hard here or we start to blow out. What if I make can I do this? Can I cheat the bloom radius way bigger than they tell me I can? They're not the boss of me. Ooh, it doesn't like that. Okay, I think it doesn't want me to do this. They're kind of lava lampy, it's true. I'm kind of into it though. Okay, let's not do that. I think it's just going to be an issue of finding good color values. I don't know if this little control, I never used this. This is like their Dat GUI replacement. I can't remember if Dat GUI even had color controls. Thanks. I think it's gonna be pretty good. Well, like a nice little frame to dude, maybe a clock in the corner or something. It's definitely not the same thing that I wanted to make. Like, where is that thing? Last time I posted on Instagram 2 years ago. But I mean, and we could work towards this, but I don't know. So this was the previous version, this very glowy version, which I liked. And I wanted to try to get back to glowy. But, you know, glowy had the glowy version had 4 million particles. And that's part of why it looked so good and ethereal and glowy, because of 4 million particles. Changing the steps just would change the step between here. I mean, I don't know. I think it's just that the bloom radius is not designed to go beyond 0. Great. I'm getting a bunch of stupid emails, probably from Instagram. New login, whatever. Yes, whatever. Just show me the good. Why is everything slow, and terrible? Anyway, this was the old version. It was very glowy and very pretty. And I miss it. But we were able to do this because we had 4 million additive particles. And so the thing we have now is very different than this. And maybe one more thing we will do, and maybe we'll do this next stream, is try to actually get proper UVs. I'm sorry, proper normals. And if we get proper normals, I think we can do a proper Fresnel. And if we can do proper Fresnel, we can try to work towards this, but I don't think we're ever going to get to this with Geo. But we can try. We'll try. I don't really want to try, but we'll try. Wait, someone's sending me messages on Instagram? Who would it be? Oscilloscopy? It's true. I don't know. Now I feel like this looks hideous because the other one is so pretty. Even the Unity one is definitely not as pretty as the glowy. But, you know, the glowy was 4 million particles and had to run on a whatever I had it on, a 2080 Ti. I don't remember what card I was running it on. It was a non-trivial, it was a serious GPU. And this will now run on a Kindle Fire tablet, so I think it was worth it. Oh, we gotta get that glowy back. We can fake some of it, probably. Just had to think about it, but okay, I have a call soon. Well, it's not just transparency. It's transparency and additiveness and making sure the geometry doesn't go insane. Because I tried that in Unity and it is not. it has to be very ethereal, and we have to deliberately, I think, to get the effect we want, we need to deliberately have like good. You get it for free with the particle system because you have actual density of the particles there, and you get a lot of additive. For us with this, the only way I can think to do it is to build proper normals, like real-time normals that are happening as you change the values. But I think we can do it. I think, in fact, all we really need to do is in here where we sample, we do our little UV sample right here. I think if we just sample a little bit above and a little bit to the right of, or like whatever, above, below, front, back, whatever, and basically make a little quad. It'll be slower, but this isn't that heavy. It's not gonna be that. I mean, we have to do all this, basically. We have to figure out where the points around us are and then figure out a slope. We'll figure out a normal based on that, but we'll get there. Okay, I have to run. Everybody, thanks for hanging out. Life is yours. It was so nice to have you on a stream. Astro Canuck, Kyle, Diraj, lovely to see you again. Wait, there's somebody else. Who was it? It was Terrier Darts. Terrier Darts, appreciate it. Did you just wave at me with a furry? Where did you get a furry? Where did you get a furry emote? What kind of channels have you been on? Life is yours. I had no idea. I had no idea that you were into. It's a dog? Are you sure? Looks like a furry to me. Wait, okay, enhance. Enhance. Okay. And I probably should not search for this on Twitch. I don't know, man. Kind of looks like a furry. Oh, is that how it works? Some crazy sub roulette. I'll know you're a furry if you start looking at the Wordle images and seeing questionable dog-related content. But this is definitely the same dog, right? This is the same. I think we can all agree. That's fine. I'm not judging. I just didn't know that about you. It's okay. So you're telling me I need to oh yeah, it is funny. Yeah, everybody that Astro Canuck gifted subs to. Just the randos of the world. It's fine. You can tell yourself that all day. I'm not here to shame you. When I start my new ASMR channel, when I build a giant human plastic ear to start licking, I'll do it in a fursuit. Okay, I'm gonna search for something that I should not search for, but we're gonna search for furry ASMR Twitch. Of course, of course. Okay, yeah. Why would I even, yeah, great. Okay, never mind. I have to go. I have some important. Interesting. Okay. Gotta leave a safe search. Set that to strict, or you're gonna start to see some questionable things. Anyway, I'm gonna go. Thanks everybody for hanging out. We'll stream again soon, and we will try to. We'll do the animation. We'll get it functional, and then maybe we'll do the kind of daunting, annoying task. It shouldn't be that hard. It wouldn't be that hard if I actually just sat down and thought about it, but you know how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna sit there and tweak and mess with it for 3 hours before it works. But the normals, I mean. So anyway, I'm gone. Goodbye.